What's up, dudes? We got the big daddy who got the old 1-2 punch at work. It just came. Garden. Yeah. So I channeled it quite a while back. I originally channeled it in the bath. So, yeah. The Emperor goes into work and finds out, like, an employee or somebody they knew totally fucked him over. And the way it came through was through the story of the Thomas Edison Henry Ford summer estates down in Fort Myers, Florida. Might mean something. Okay, down in Florida. And so Thomas Edison had his winter, like when it got cold in the Midwest, he would go down to Florida like a snowbird, and he was looking for synthetic rubber, like a new rubber, some kind of rubber for his automobiles. And he had a neighbor who lived right next door to him. They were friends. And this was before Henry Ford. I can't hear the sirens. And his winter estate was on a river and way in the middle of like nowhere at the time. There was only a cattle trail that sounded like cattle, like a cracker, okay? Not in a derogatory way. That's like a cattle driver. Okay. I'm channeling, so you just have to bear with me. And so he bought the property and built his house on there. And then his friend had his house right next door. And Thomas Edison found out that this dude fucked him over. And it was like his BFF. And I can't even remember the dude's name, but he fucked him over to what the equivalent would be of like $1 million today. And Thomas Edison, and if you ever go there, I'm gonna find a great video of a tour. Yeah, let's all go to Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, Winter Estates today. I'll put a tour, I'll find a video and put a tour down in the comment section. And I've been there, it's super cool. And you can see his inventions. There's one part where you can push a button and turn on the lights. And you know that he pushed that so many times. It's pretty neat. It's a very interesting place. But anyways, so he found out this dude totally fucked him over. And Thomas Edison had outfitted those two houses with all the coolest inventions. But it was really Thomas Edison's house that had all the coolest inventions. The house next door was just kind of like using his dock, using his well. And it's interesting too, because back then, like if there was a fire, you couldn't call a fire department, no. You have a fire hose he made his own fire hose, and they used to have the kitchens off to the side of the house in case a kitchen fire started. It wasn't in the center of the house, it was like off to the side. A garage might mean something. Or a patio with a grill, now I see. And so Thomas Edison, after that, found out, he talked to his friend, and he said, I'm gonna tell you this, yeah. If your house catches on fire, yeah, I'm gonna watch it burn. You're not gonna use my hose. You're not gonna use my well. You're not gonna use my dock anymore. You're gonna have to jump off a boat and swim ashore. You're not gonna use any of my inventions anymore, neighbor. And that dude ended up selling his property right away. Well, in the end, guess who got it? Henry Ford. And those two became super BFFs. They dorked the fuck out together. They were like the same kind of whirly, I hear whirligig, the same kind of whirring minds, inventors, probably spectrum-y, high-functioning spectrum-y people. And they would go there and like broski out together. They were best friends. And Thomas Edison was older than Henry Ford, so it was kind of like a master-apprentice relationship. But you got to remember too that master and apprentice relationships go back and forth. They, like, one day one person is the master, and then the next day the other person. And so, yeah, and Thomas Edison couldn't hear very well. And so they would have like dinner parties and stuff, host dinners, and everybody'd show up, and Henry Ford would be the middle. Curb Your Enthusiasm might mean something. And look who's... And Henry Ford would be the middle, and he would host the whole thing. He would plan out jokes, and he was sympathetic and empathetic to his BFF sitting at the head of the table, who was hard of hearing. Couldn't hear any of the conversation, couldn't hear any of the jokes. Still there, but excluded. So guess what he did? When he would be the middle at the dinners, that's the person who sits in the middle and kind of runs the whole dinner conversation. He would write his joke down on a little card, and he'd pass it to his BFF right when he would already have the cards ready, and he would pass it to his BFF right when he was telling the joke, so his friend could laugh too. So it's pretty interesting learning about their relationship, and they went to try to figure out how to find a rubber, the synthetic rubber. Well, then synthetic rubber came, somebody invented it, and not them. They were busy planting different trees on their property and trying to tap the sap. It's very neat, and they have a whole museum attached with different... It was amazing how many patents Thomas Edison had done. They have all these old cars for Henry Ford, and it's really interesting to learn about this like divine counterpart relationship and friendship between these two. And Firestone was also like the three amigos. So they were different companies, but they all had mutual respect, and they all worked together and played together as much as they could. They were busy people. And their wives, also highly intelligent women. Yeah, I think it was Thomas Edison's wife. I hear Mina. I think it was Thomas Edison's wife who said to Henry Ford, or else it was the other way around, "You're taking up a lot of my husband's time." Yeah. "I would really like a garden." And he gifted her a garden. Yes, so there's the garden that he gifted to his BFF's wife because he took up so much of his husband's time. And they were all friends together. All right. So let's all go to the museum, yeah? Check it out in the comment section. Oh yeah, and the moral of the story is the Emperor might feel like they got totally fucked over, so fucking hardcore, betrayed, yeah. But in the end, their BFF is on the way.